Okay, it's time for a breeding update. There's old Phantom. His lady is Hyacinth. She's the normal colored green that's been hiding in her box for like 4 days. Well, we finally have an egg. Yay! And Phantom is watching over her carefully. In parakeets, the males feed the females while they're sitting on the nest. They will go in the nest with them occasionally, but for the most part, the females incubate the eggs and the males sit on the nest. So what you see there is Phantom standing by, waiting until he's needed. He eats everything for her. The females will come off the nest a few times a day, but only for, a minute or two. So they're really heavily dependent on the males taking care of them. Let's see, who else? So over here, that's Porky, and Miss Coco has not laid an egg yet, but she has a giant bulge behind her legs under her vent, indicating that she's going to lay any minute, and she's been pacing around and acting like she's doing labor for the first time all day today. She's in the box right now. Maybe she's laying it at this as we speak. So here's a little something that I noticed. Let's take a look at Hyacinth's cuddle bone here. If you take a look at that cuddle bone right there, what you will see is that she's literally hollowed it out. It's almost gone. She's just gobbled down the whole thing. There's almost nothing left. She's gobbled it down to almost hit the hard back on it. That's good, because if you're going to lay eggs, you have to have a lot of calcium streaming through your system. Then I came over here and looked at this cuddle bone, which is, there's Coco. This cuddle bone for Coco is essentially untouched. She's not chewing on it. Now, I also give them egg food in their soft food diet when they're laying, and she's not really eating that either. So what I have here is a disaster in the making. Miss Coco doesn't know how to get herself full of calcium. I ran into this with my another female that I bred earlier this year. Oh, here she comes out. There's that egg bump there. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell up front. You have to look at them from the side. But anyway, so what I did is I'm going to put a calcium supplement in her water. So she will end up getting the calcium that she needs. Yeah, she's a little distressed. I think she's never laid before. And this is her first egg, and it's given her some issues. But old Porky's taken care, and they're in good shape. In this box over here, there is Sprite. His lady Fluffy is long gone. Now, what I do with these guys are all first-time breeders. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them are first-time breeders. So although a lot of people will go looking in the box all the time, I don't want to mess with them. I don't want to give them any reason to feel like they're doing something wrong or they're in danger. So once I establish that they've got that first egg laid, I'm going to leave them alone. Once I need to know when the first egg is laid, because that allows me to know when the first baby's due to hatch. Because once the babies hatch, they do require some maintenance on my part. See how her wings are kind of hanging down on either side? They're kind of a little bit relaxed. It's because she's working to get that egg out. But anyway, let's see. Can you see her bump? See how she's hanging down low between her legs back there, and she's standing splay-legged? That's a girl that's in labor, basically. That's birdie labor. So anyway, as far as looking in nest boxes and stuff like that, I'm going to get a date for the first egg, because I can pretty much guarantee that 18 days later that egg is going to hatch, and then it's time to start watching babies. But even then, I'm going to peek in the box once a day, very quickly, once the female leaves the box. Because once those babies start to hatch, when the first one hatches, she'll stay in there for 2 or 3 days. But once the second one hatches and the first one gets a little size on it, she'll start coming out to help feed them. There we go. We're going to do some loving. She's not sure she wants to do that. Anyway, So the female will start coming out, and then I'll start peeking in on the babies to see how things are going. But I really don't start messing with the babies, handling them, putting my hand in the box or anything until the oldest one is 2 weeks old, because by then the bottom of the box is getting nasty, and I have to start cleaning it out every few days. But until then, I'm going to leave them alone, let the little family get established. So anyway, that's a breeding update for them. These two are clearly in breeding mode. These two are still not doing anything. I'm just going to leave them. Frost there is one of my best birds as far as the show thing goes. He has great feather and good size and everything else, so he's a valuable breeder to me. And Sunny is a beautiful bird. She has good feather and good size, and they're a good match. But she is probably 3 years old. If she decides for whatever reason that she's not going to breed with Frost, then I'm going to have to go out and find him a new girl. But I'm going to give them probably another 2 or 3 weeks to figure out what they want to do before I try and split them up. And I also don't have another breeding option for Frost right now. She's it. So, and all my other females are either too young or the wrong color or something like that. Or not big enough. He needs a really fine female to carry on those nice genes he's got. So, anyway, I'm just going to leave them for a few weeks and see if they work their way up to it. So here's Blue and Fancy. Let me back out a little bit so you can see him. There's Blue and Fancy. Fancy has been absolutely chowing down on her egg food, nibbling at her cuddle bone, in and out of the nest box. I don't see the bulbs yet, though. So we probably have a few more days to go at least. These two down here. Now, they came in here a week later than everybody else, so it's natural that they'd be a bit behind schedule. But I haven't seen a lot happening. They go in and out of the box a lot, but that's about it. But they'll get to it. They're an established pair, so this is one pair that I'm not really worried about. And here's look at old Royal Violet down here. He's on his 3rd female, and she is not messing around. I put her in that cage, and she was in that box within 10 minutes. She basically chased him around the cage until he decided she was okay. So they are mating now, and I think she's been so into that box since the minute I put her in there. This may be one of those cases where she's going to lay an egg or two that aren't fertile yet because she hadn't actually mated before she laid it. But we'll see. We'll see. And then we have good old Pearl up here. She is the egg machine. She's up to 4 eggs already. Oh, that's not Pearl. That's Zoo. Pearl's inside. So an interesting difference between cockatiels and parakeets is that male cockatiels do not feed the females. The females have to leave the nest to go get their food. But the flip side of that is that the male cockatiels actually incubate the eggs. Zoo spends 2/3 of his daylight hours sitting on those eggs, while Pearl's out here feeding herself to get more babies. She has also completely disappeared her cuddle bone here. As you can see, it's just a sliver left. And I set it above a cup, so the cup is sitting in has a bunch of chewed up cuddle bone in it. Oh, here she comes. Hi, Pearl. And this is her egg food, which she's already eaten half of, and I put it in there only 10 minutes ago. So she's doing great. This pair are good producers, and, they're leading the show. Their babies will hatch first. So that's the breeding update. Everybody's good, and things are starting to happen. And Hyacinth has her first egg finally. Yay!